well, trip over, well, what we're supposed to do. But yeah, and shout out to my guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I got to play him every time the left want to start crying and remind them that, well, they're DHSs now. They're ISIS problem now, guys. And I mean, in terms of Trump, you're under Trump's presidency now.
Donald Trump wanted American cities to be training grounds, and ICE listened. In Chicago, in the middle of the night, federal agents stormed an apartment building. Black Hawk helicopters, flashbangs, military-style trucks, all used in the raid. Now, witnesses say everyone was detained, no matter their status. Children were zip-tied together, separated from their parents. And the feds say that they arrested dozens of gangs.
I'm weak. Shout out to Jay. He said, listen to the governor, Dems. I mean, no, for real. Like, to be quite honest, I have to play
Stop whining. Your kids are soft.
You're soft.
Gang members. Also in the city, Charlie Kirk's group was given a front row seat to a raid inside a Walmart.
Amazing. Secretary Noem was here. They rolled up a couple of guys, and it's rowdy. There were there's a lot of people around. Everyone's filming.
Kids in zip ties.
Secretary of Homeland Security is right now doing raids.
I mean, hold on. Kids in zip ties, you acting like we don't do that already with American children. If they if they act crazy enough, they'll get put in handcuffs, tight ass handcuffs. I've been put in tight ass handcuffs as a kid. I mean, shoot, where was CNN? Where was y'all when I was getting put in handcuffs as a kid? Like, wait, what are they supposed to put them in if they're breaking the law? Actually, well, what did you want?
At Walmart.
So as forewarned, I mean, we have a situation in which American cities are at the center of this ICE crackdown, and there's indiscriminate use of force against Americans.
I'm sorry, but the shock. All right, I'm gonna get serious about this again, but the look on their faces is killing me right now. Like, do you see this look? Like, they look so concerned as if they did not see this coming.
Use of force against Americans, non-Americans, people here legally, people here illegally. And on the right, nobody seems to care. In fact, they love it.
I saw a video from...
Because we voted for it. What did you think was going to happen? We told you, if you guys let this immigration system get bad enough, it's going to get real grimy how we got to solve it. And here we are. I told you guys, and you didn't want to listen. The more you let in, the more we got to rush out. And the tactics that we're going to use to rush them out is going to be legal, but you ain't going to like it. You're not. So, yes, we got to sit in there and raid. And even if we did have to put kids in zip ties, well, guess what? They're here legally and they got to go. Or, well, don't worry. If they're American citizens and their parents are illegal, don't worry. They'll be released in about 3 days. It is what it is. But remember, the Dems set this up. So y'all might want to have to just go ahead and sit back and, as my man Arnold Schwarzenegger said.
Stop whining. Your kids are soft.
A local station in Chicago, and residents of a community there were describing an ICE raid and like what they saw. Two things struck me. One, they were talking about things that happened to them. They were talking about how they were treated in this ICE raid. These are the people that, I guess, by virtue of being born here in America, are entitled to being treated like human beings. The second thing is that they were all Black. And I'm going to say something. We saw this coming. We knew the neighborhoods where these ICE raids would take place. We knew that a lot of...
So you knew there were neighborhoods where there were a whole bunch of Black illegal immigrants going to? I mean, bro, I don't care. Like, if you think you're going to, S.E.T, but they're Black. I mean, were they here legally? No. Okay, I don't care then. I don't. I'm sorry. I really don't. Like, you gotta take the pity party somewhere else. You could take it over there to the neighbors, but I ain't holding it for you.
These things wouldn't happen in Beverly Hills or in Coconut Grove or any of those places like that. We knew that there would be collateral damage, that there would be...
Coconut Grove? So what, there's a place where there's a whole bunch of illegal Caribbean Black people there? Like, come on now, bro. Like I said, I can't feel bad for them. If they're illegal, and I don't care if they came from Haiti, I don't even care if they came from my parents' home country, Guyana, send their ass back.
Trauma that would be inflicted on our
communities. They're here illegally.
We knew that people would be detained, scared. We knew that children would have to see things that they shouldn't have to see. And all of this for political theater so that we look tough on immigration for everyone. it's a horror show. And I do think,
I mean, let's be real. We are tough on immigration. This ain't looking. We are tough on immigration. That's just the reality of it. You know, maybe these other countries peep how we come in or peep what we're doing and how we are standing on business about this. Then, hey, maybe it will deter some of these guys from coming over here.
if it hasn't already happened, that it'll be something that even the most conservative of Americans will get tired of seeing human beings treated this way. At least that's my hope.
No, sorry, my brother. I wish I could sit there and agree with you, but I can't. I'm gonna sit there and say, well, we voted for this. We understand that there are children that are here illegally, and they will probably be handcuffed too. But it is what it is. I'm sorry, but if you're not sitting here talking about American children being deported, man, I can't really say anything. I'm not sorry, but you can't really pull on my heartstrings with that. You're giving a bleeding heart argument, and the problem is, if these kids are illegal, then it's invalid. But if they are legal, then let's be real, they're only going to be detained for about 2 to 3 days. Then they'll be right back out. And then here's the problem: if their parents are illegal, the parents might decide to take them. And guess what? You guys are still going to call that, oh, we're deporting U.S. citizens, even though their parents took them. So we lose both ways. So we might as well do it however we want, since y'all going to frame it to be the most, vile thing you've ever seen.
The one neighbor said the kids were crying. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner because they were bringing kids down too, had them zip tied to each other. Saying that there were trucks, military-style vans used to separate adults from kids. What's going on?
I haven't seen any of this, so I certainly am not aware of particular neighborhoods that are targeted. Obviously, I support them finding and arresting people who are here illegally. And in the community they're in, again, I can't justify, I haven't seen which communities that they're targeting.
Well, one detail that's been left out is that they were targeting Tren de Aragua. And so Tren de Aragua is a violent transnational gang
that was led into, a whole lot of Venezuelans were led in, and guess who got paid for it? $800,000 went to our guy, Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, who let these guys in. And let's be honest, Chicago already got a gang problem. To add the Venezuelan gang on top of that is wild.
They send illegal immigrants here to the United States. They traffic drugs, they traffic people, they commit violence. They inflict misery everywhere they go. And 37 people were arrested. That was the purpose of the raid, the targeting of Tren de Aragua, some of the most violent people in our hemisphere. And when they come here, nothing good happens. That was
okay. So if it was targeting, I don't think anybody has a problem with targeting. Right. When you clear out an apartment building and you zip tie children and you arrest and detain everyone. Scott, hold on.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
You and me, we're talking here. Okay. If they arrest children, they arrest everyone, citizens and non-citizens, for hours, detain them, deprive them of their liberty for no matter how long.
Whoa. They're not being deprived of their liberty. You can be detained for up to 72 hours. And if there's a charge not brought against you, you must be released. So let's not play that game here. Yes, you're going to be detained if you're caught up in a nice operation, or if you're seen trying to stop a nice operation. For all you know, and I'm going to be real with you, this is going to be a heartbreaking story, I might tell you, or a scenario, not really story. It's a scenario of, let's say this, kids sleeping, and, and it's going to sound messed up, but, ICE is going to knock on the door, right? And when ICE knocks on the door, everybody in the house is like, as they should be. ICE comes in, they run in the door, and, everybody's going to try to skedaddle. But no, ICE catches everybody gets locked up. And the kids has to see his parents, his mom, his dad get locked up. Most kids is not going to take that one sitting down. They're going to try to run towards the officers. The officer's not going to want to attack the kid. And the kid's going to end up getting zip tied and taken into custody. And that's just how it's going to go. Sad, but that's just the reality of how it's most likely working out.
Fine with that.
They didn't arrest children, but
I didn't say they arrested them. They put them in zip ties. But if that makes a difference to you, go ahead.
Here's what makes a difference to me. If the federal government knows that there is a nest of Tren de Aragua in a city like Chicago, They have a responsibility. They have an obligation to go get them. It is unfortunate, to answer your question, that there are children put in harm's way by these violent gangs.
It is.
But that is going to be the reality.
Or is it is it unfortunate, or is it a
Tamina,
violation of their rights?
No, it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. If we got to go in there and clear out a whole apartment, apparently there was all types of illegals in there, and we had to clear out everybody, even the children. Even the children had to go. So like the scenario I gave you, where these guys come in and they're pretty much just grabbing everybody, and the kid got to see his mama get wrapped up, and the kid's gonna most likely rush towards the officers like any good kid would. They're gonna get zip tied, and that's just what it is. I know it's a tough situation, but this is what happened when you let immigration get out of hand. Remember, I mean, if you didn't want to hear these sad stories, then I mean, don't create them.
Is the question, because I mean, in this country we have rights against searches and
you're
illegal
suggesting
searches
these children should be effectively human shields for Trinidad Aragua. I don't agree with
what I'm asking, hold on, I want to make it clear. I don't like, I know that Trinidad Aragua and gangs and whatever, it's a catch-all to treat people however you want, to go in there and shred the Constitution or whatever else it is.
Oh, and shout out to my man Jet on Rumble. Yes, guys, you can also send a super chat in on Rumble. It's a lot cheaper and you get a lot more for your money. But shout out to my man Jet on Rumble. He says, how come they don't care about any of the kids that go to live near that Portland City ICE facility and got to deal with the Transquifa riots as well? I mean, hey, that is true. They don't care about any of the kids that go live near that Portland ICE facility at all. At all. But it is what it is, guys. Like I said, I mean, these guys want to pick and choose when to be outraged. And you know what? I could honestly see where the sad story lies, but y'all created the sad story. Y'all let these people in. You let them get comfortable and think that they can be here illegally. F the immigration laws. They're bold enough to have a kid here, and now the kid's an American citizen. And we're debating that one in the Supreme Court. So now we don't even know if that kid's going to remain an American citizen now because of the problems that y'all created. If you didn't go buck wild on immigration and just let these guys flood the border, we wouldn't be here, guys. I hope y'all understand that.
That you want to do. What I'm asking you is this. Do you think that children should have been zip tied and pulled out of an apartment complex and traumatized like that? Yes or no?
I don't think children should be put in harm's way by transnational gangs.
Just answer the question. Yes or no? Do you think that children?
If he asked me that question, I'd have had it been cut with him. I'd be like, in this situation, yes. Like, damn. I know what y'all thinking. Like, damn, Seth, really? Well, yeah, I'm being quite honest. If these kids are here illegally, they're out here kicking it out here at Trinidad Aragua innocently, I doubt they're doing anything wrong. But most likely these kids are, one, going to get in the way of the arrest. Two, if we confirm that these are their parents, what are we going to do? Take the parents, leave the kid in the house all by himself? And then the thing is, like I said, we don't know these kids' ages, if they were attacking or not. We don't really know anything. And we don't even know if these kids are legal. I'm going to go look it up. I'm going to look more into this. But all we know is that, hey, a bunch of kids got put in zip ties and people are upset and crying their eyes out over it.
Except the premise of your question.
I'm asking
the government's not putting children in harm's way. Trinidad Aragua.
Real calm now. Real calm. Like
they're the ones.
No, he's actually got a good point. He's like, bro, Trinidad Aragua put him in this position to be abused like this, to be quite honest, to be zip tied like this. He also, and guess who also did it? Oh, by third party, the American government under Biden.
Gentlemen and gentlemen, we have a responsibility for the way we treat people with the power that we have here in America. And we have a standard that we should treat human life with. And I'm asking you very clearly, concisely, should children be treated that way? The Scott Jennings like that?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I have to look bro dead in the eyes and be like, if these kids are here illegally or both their parents were in there illegally, then yes. Yes, I do like that. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And shout out to Misfit Supervisor. Those parents put those kids in harm's way. And actually, you know what the thing is? Whoa. We don't even know if those kids are being trafficked. Like, we don't even know what was really going on with those kids. We don't even know if those are actually the parents, trafficking victims, whatever. We don't know. So let's wait for all the facts to come out, because I think we might be jumping to conclusions here. But yeah, shout out to Misfit Supervisor and shout out to Tove. Appreciate the support, sis. She says, what about the 300,000 kids that went missing for 4 years? They have found many when Biden said it was impossible, which is true. I think we found at least like 30,000 of these young kids are by now. Thank God we have. And thing is, busting into that house, we might have found more for all you know. So we really don't know what the status of these kids are, why they were in there. We don't know if there was a parent or trafficking victims. God forbid, trafficking victims. I'd rather them be, kids that were just there with their illegal parents. I'd rather that scenario.
I don't accept the premise of your question.
All right, cool.
I don't believe that the premise of your question is accurate.
Yeah.
I would ask you back.
And it's a bit disingenuous, but I would answer it coldly just to shut them up.
Should children be allowed to live in an apartment building with Trinde Aragua? Should the entire community of Chicago have to live with Trinde Aragua because they hide behind these children?
But here's the thing.
That's my question.
I think the answer to that is clear. No, they should not be put in harm's way. But the difference is in
Okay, so because they were, this has to happen to them. It is what it is.
The situation is, I don't want to be Trinde Aragua. I don't want my law enforcement to act like Trinde Aragua. That is
Bro, what? Sweetheart, that don't even make sense. Trinde Agua don't lock up immigrants and send them back home. Trinde Agua bring in illegal immigrants and help them station up here and commit crime. What are you talking about?
is
So
the
what do you want to do?
distinction.
Do you want to leave
But-
it? Do you just want to leave it and say, well, they have kids in there, let's just move on? Is
No,
that
but
what you want to
can't
do?
we can't law enforcement figure out a way? I don't think this is the first
I
time
mean, ma'am.
children have been in an environment where dangerous people have been around them. And I'm most certain that in most of those circumstances, those children aren't zip tied and carried out like animals. What I am wondering is, okay, let's put this fact pattern on any other placement. Let's put it on a school, right? What if there was a gang member in a school?
I mean, to be quite honest, I'd rather be in zip ties than metal handcuffs. I mean, don't those hurt even more, especially if they're tight and they can dig into your skin? I don't know. Zip ties, I ain't gonna lie, don't seem as bad as handcuffs. And they're pretty damn secure.
And by this calculation, it would seem like the children in the school, in order to get that one gang member or two gang members,
Handcuff the
would
whole
get.
biology
It's not
class.
one gang member. It's 37
Well,
people
let's say-
in an
let's say
apartment
there's
building.
It's a
five.
large apartment building. That's part of the fact pattern here. I mean, here's another one. From
And it's tough because they got to make my man Scott look like the cold bastard in the room. And it ain't fair because somebody got to stand on business. Like, y'all want to sit here and get mad at kids getting in zip ties, but we're like, bro, what about this Trinde Agua gang? And then let's be real, even if it was black people, they were most likely here illegally. And if they put their kids in that danger, then it is what it is. Like I said, you can't make us feel bad about this. One, because we voted for it, and we do understand that they're carrying out immigration law. And they do need to get up out of here. Like, let's be quite honest. It has gotten out of hand. And y'all and the Dems let it get out of hand. So they would be the ones crying about how it's getting fixed, which is crazy to me.
from our reporting, tenants
Bro, it's like it's like your kid breaking a vase, and then while you're like vacuuming or sweeping it up, they're over here crying about you sweeping it up. Like, could you imagine?
that it appears everyone in the building was detained.
Oh, and shout out Misfit Supervisor, member for 4 months. Appreciate the support, sis. Man, my bad. Whoops. All right, that was 2 mess ups. My bad. But shout out to Misfit Supervisor. She says, stupid people hurt my brain. I mean, mine's too, sis. Mine's too.
By federal officers, including U.S. citizens. It was scary, said one, because
Okay, there it is. 37 people arrested. American kids separated from their parents after ICE raid at Chicago apartment, aka illegal parents who were here, who had a kid here, who just so happened now is an American. So can't do nothing about that. Separated from their parents after ICE raid at Chicago apartment. Tenants said it appears everyone in the building was detained by federal officers, including U.S. citizens. And like I said, if they're impeding, and like I mean, let's be honest, let's say they're dragging out your favorite neighbor, and that's an illegal. You're going like, what are you doing? Oh, and you go after the ICE. Well, guess what? Boom, you're getting locked up too, just like that. I mean, like I said, I could only imagine what the scenario was to where they got to clear out the entire apartment, especially if you got to go in there and get 37 people. Yeah, I can see people getting out of hand, especially in Chicago.
I had never had a gun in my face. That person lives in the building. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? I told them, no, I didn't. Fisher, this person says, she was handcuffed anyway before being released around 3 a.m. and was told anyone with outstanding warrants, even if it was unrelated to immigration, would not be released. So
yeah, I know that's HSI. I know that's HSI pretty much telling them that Homeland Security investigation, they can do that. I know ICE rolls, it's not just ICE that's rolling with them, it's ICE and HSI, Homeland Security investigation. They can do that to you. I know. So it's like a 2-for-1 special. It's like you got ICE handling immigration, then you got HSI or possibly local law enforcement handling any warrants that could be in the area as well. So they're trying to clean up warrants and clean up immigration at the same time. Clean up crime and immigration. I'm okay with that.
Like people live in apartment buildings all over this country.
And in Chicago, so I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people just running around low-key with warrants. I mean, probably got like 4 or 5 different warrants in different parts of Illinois.
So I promise
Is that where we're?
Hold on, wait a second.
Should I just go to an apartment building and hide?
Wait. I'm talking about the way that citizen of this country was treated. By the way, I just want to be clear. I think that everybody that's created in the image of God should be treated with respect. And I thought that part of the American ideal was that, but that's gone. I promise y'all will still be invited to Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, hold on. I'm not liking with this new position that the Dems are taking. They're literally trying to use the Christian nature of Republicans against them. Like, oh, well, bro. There was literally somebody trying to say that the immigration laws that the United States holds against the Bible. I was like, do y'all remember the whole separation of church and state thing? Yeah, we kind of know that. That's why we don't fully rule by the Bible. You know that, right? I mean, we can do what's best for the country while separating ourselves from our religion. Like, you guys are stupid if you don't understand that. And then they're really trying to use, oh, well, you guys are running away from your Christian teachings the way you're treating these people. No, we're upholding immigration laws. And you guys want to bring up Christian values? I mean, what type of gaslighting be, bro? I'm not really trying to hear it from the guys that want to shit talk about Christians all day long. Like, really, guys? That's wild to say.
If you say that it is wrong that children were zip tied and that American people, American citizens were detained without any warrant or suspicion.
Briefly detained? In an effort to get 37 members.
So tell me.
What you're suggesting is that no one.
So are you? Would you be okay being detained so that the gang members? Would you be okay with your rights being violated and you be held?
Yeah. If I'm being detained, let's just say this. Let's say ICE comes on my entire block and there's just a whole bunch of illegals here, and they're just like, all right, bro, I ain't gonna lie, you got to be detained. We got to make sure everything's all good in your area. And let's just say I was just walking out about, and they say, you know what, just stick right here, just stick in the corner for me. We're just gonna detain you. All right, cool. Like, and now if they take me in and hold me to 73, well, I would say 4 days, then I'm gonna be mad. 3 days, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, what you mean? People's been detained all the time during crime scenes, especially if they think you're a witness, if they think you're a cooperator, and they have right to do so because you're in an apartment building full of illegals and we're wondering, well, do you have any hand in this? Know what? Lock them up or detain them. We'll ask some questions later. Detain everybody in here and we'll ask some questions because a whole bunch of illegals in here and gang members. So detain everybody. All right. I can see why they had that mindset.
Until 3 a.m. with your family member not knowing why. Is that okay? Because that's not okay with me.
Everybody here seems to believe that if you're Trinidad Aragua, you can go hide in an apartment building, and because there are other people there, you just get to be left alone. That is not a reasonable enforcement position.
There's another option here, and it's actually an option that's utilized by law enforcement every single day in this country. When they are looking for violent people, they go look for those violent people. They do not subject the people around those violent people who have nothing to do with them.
No. Yes, they do. Yes, they do, ma'am. Because like I said, you never know. Are you a cooperator? Are you one of the suspects? Could you be hiding and embedding? Because there's a whole lot of illegals and gang members in here. And it's kind of weird how you're just a U.S. citizen chilling in the mix. So, yeah, we're going to have to bring you in for a little bit and ask you some questions, some tough ones. All right, let's get back to it.
With arrest, with guns in their faces, with being searched, with being zip tied and handcuffed
Mhm.
and detained every day in America. Law enforcement does their jobs and they don't do it like this. So why
Yeah.
is suddenly
Bro.
this
Every
okay?
day in America,
Actually, they do. If the law enforcement was, I mean, guys, let's just say this. If the SWAT team comes into your homie's house and your homie just happens to be carrying, like, I don't know, like 20 bricks in his closet, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, man, look, bro, you're detaining me for what? What did I do? Bro, you're at a crime scene. The whole building is now a crime scene. The whole house is now a crime scene. So whoever's in it can be detained at this point.
you're not necessarily dealing with the most violent people in the
Actually,
hemisphere.
yes,
Oh, we're
you
not?
are.
So it's
who
a
is
different
living in
country.
this.
Scott, there are violent people who are right here in this country, American citizens. They are in gangs. They were born here. Their parents were born here. Their
Oh, we
grandparents were
know.
born
Don't
here.
believe me. We know.
Those
No.
people are dealt with by law enforcement every day. Again, it's a real basic question.
Yeah, I know. We kick in their doors, we kick in the trap house, and we lock everybody up in there. Even the guy who just kicking it with his homie. Yeah, I know. We do it all the fucking time.
If you lived in an apartment building and there happened to be somebody who was guilty of a terrible crime in that building, and law enforcement barged in, guns blazing, and put every single person in that apartment building under arrest, you would be fine with that,
But
including you and your
not
family.
everybody is under
You would be-
arrest.
you
They
would be
arrested
fine with
30.
that.
Bro, they've done that so many times where a whole apartment building was getting caught for trafficking, drugs, people, and everybody in that apartment building got detained. Like, it's happened in cities all the time. So it's kind of funny how they're picking out this situation, acting outraged about it. But I'm like, yo, people, when a whole, like, bro, when a whole area is a crime scene, who's ever in that area, low-key gets detained and questioned right there and then. And if it's under suspicion that they might have committed a crime, or they might have a warrant, or they might be embedding, they're going to get detained. It's just off the suspicion of it. And like I said, if you're ICE going in here, your mission is to, one, get people with warrants and illegals. And for some reason, there's a whole lot of illegals and gang members in here. Yeah, my thought would be, yeah, we just got to take in everybody, detain them, question them. We'll release them later if they're U.S. citizens. But we got to wonder what's going on here. Like, we got to figure it out.
Scott,
People. They arrested
Scott,
37.
this person,
You said everybody.
This person was
It's
sleeping
37
in. This
people.
person was sleeping in their bed, and they were detained. They were put in handcuffs and detained. until
Neither
3
you
in the
nor I
morning.
was there.
Would you be fine
Oh,
with
God.
I were there.
That is hilarious.
But I know
though.
this. Now 37.
You and
Woke up out the bed and just said, all right, young man, come on. Come on. You're going to bed. It's over. I doubt that. I think there's definitely more to the story than that. I think he woke up out of his bed, walked out, probably seen his parents getting detained or arrested, and just probably rushed at him, and boom. There you go. Now he's detained and he's being questioned. Like I said, like, we really don't know the full story. We don't know, and nobody was in here in the chat was there. And if you were, shoot, let me know. Give me proof.
your family,
Violent
Scott,
people are now off the street.
Scott,
So-
you and your family, you are in an apartment building. You and your family, you would be fine with your liberty being held up. Your kids, your wife, your children.
Yes, because it's happened to me before. Like, when you're in a, bro, I've learned myself that when you're in a crime scene, yeah, you could be held there off suspicion alone. Like, yes, welcome to the United States. Welcome to how the cops do it. Welcome to the law, man, because apparently y'all missed something. Y'all missing something in this argument. And it just, honestly, that's how the cops do things. I think a cop would agree with me on, yeah, if you're a suspect, we turn this whole building into a crime scene, we kind of got to take all y'all in, especially under the suspicion of, hold on, there's illegals and gang members in here all throughout the building. And then we don't know if the U.S. citizens in here have warrants. We don't know if they're embedding. Yeah, everybody got to get questioned. It's reasonable.
Children being detained for any amount of time because somebody in that building was a criminal, you'd be fine with that?
You are vastly oversimplifying what's happening
Okay.
here. There
Yeah.
are
I think
scores
sometimes
of
we have
illegal
to-
immigrants
I
in
think
the building.
sometimes we have to simplify things so that we actually
many of them are
understand
violent.
what we're talking about. Because I do think that this is a problem now for the rest of the country. People are going about their lives and they are not responsible for the crimes of other people. And yet in this world in which
And they're still
ICE is
not.
operating like this, they are being detained for other people's crimes. Willingness to accept a whole lot of collateral violation of rights.
Well, detained doesn't really mean arrested. It means you're just being held. You're not arrested. No charges been against you, but we can detain you for up to 72 hours to find out stuff. So, well, they can detain you. They can detain you for up to 72 hours without no charges, and then you'll be released.
of anybody, whether you're American citizens or not, because there are many rights in this country that are in the Constitution that don't, it doesn't matter if you're a citizen or not, you're still entitled to them.
Yeah, you're right. But y'all be forgetting about the whole expedited deportation or expedited removal. And then y'all forget that's actually part of, due process. Y'all don't like